It started with a single decision, one that both terrified and thrilled me. I quit my 9-to-5 job. I packed my laptop, sold most of my possessions, and bought a one-way ticket to Bali. I had no fixed address, no office, and no certainty, but I had freedom. That was the moment I officially became a digital nomad. The term digital nomad sounded almost mythical to me at first. People working from beaches, cafes, and mountaintops while exploring the world. I used to scroll through their photos on social media, wondering if such a life could ever be real. But when the pandemic changed how the world worked and remote jobs became the new normal, I saw my chance, the leap into the unknown. Leaving stability was the hardest part. I had a good job, a comfortable apartment, and a predictable life. But I also had a growing restlessness. A feeling that I was living the same day on repeat. My creative spark was fading. I realized I didn't want to wait for retirement to start living. So I made a plan, save 6 months of expenses, research remote work opportunities, and learn how to live with less. The first few weeks after quitting were both liberating and terrifying. There were moments when I questioned everything. But once I landed in Bali and set up my laptop in a small cafe surrounded by palm trees, I felt something I hadn't felt in years: possibility. Work redefined. Being a digital nomad doesn't mean endless vacation. It's a balance of discipline and freedom. My mornings began with sunrise yoga by the beach, followed by long hours of focused work in co-working spaces filled with other travelers, designers, writers, programmers, entrepreneurs. Everyone had their own story, yet we all shared the same dream: to live life on our own terms. I worked as a freelance writer and content creator, collaborating with clients across different time zones. Some days I'd be on calls from a bamboo hut. Other days I'd finish an article while sitting in a night market. The world became my office. Internet access was my lifeline, and coffee shops became my second home. Of course, it wasn't always idyllic. Wi-Fi failed during deadlines. Heat, humidity, and noise sometimes made it hard to concentrate. But these were small challenges compared to the joy of designing my own lifestyle. The power of minimalism. Before this journey, I didn't realize how much I owned or how little I needed. My entire life now fit into a single backpack, a laptop, a few clothes, and a camera. Letting go of possessions felt strange at first, but soon it became freeing. Minimalism taught me something powerful. Freedom doesn't come from having more, but from needing less. Every object I carried had a purpose. Every choice had meaning. I no longer chased comfort. I chased experience, connection beyond borders. One of the most surprising lessons of the digital nomad life was how connected I felt to people, even as I constantly moved. I met travelers in co-working spaces in Thailand, hiked with fellow nomads in Vietnam, and joined beach cleanups in the Philippines. We were from different countries, cultures, and backgrounds, but we shared a mindset, the belief that work and travel could coexist. We helped each other with projects, swapped travel tips, and celebrated small victories. There was a sense of community without boundaries. However, there were also moments of loneliness. Birthdays spent away from family, goodbyes that never got easier, and the constant adjustment to new places. I learned to embrace solitude as a teacher, to be at peace with being alone, yet open to connection wherever I went. Work-life integration, not balance. As a digital nomad, the line between work and life often blurs. My office could be a mountain lodge in Nepal or a riverside cafe in Chiang Mai. Sometimes I worked until midnight to meet deadlines. Other times, I took a Tuesday off to explore a waterfall. I learned to measure success differently, not by promotions or salaries, but by freedom of time. My new life wasn't perfect, but it was intentional. I was no longer waiting for weekends to feel alive. Every day carried its own rhythm. Challenges of a borderless life. The digital nomad lifestyle isn't without difficulties. Visas can be complicated. Health insurance is essential, but confusing. And managing income while traveling means dealing with fluctuating currencies and unpredictable expenses. Then there's burnout. The temptation to constantly move, to see more, do more, experience everything. It took me months to realize that being a digital nomad isn't about running from one destination to another. It's about finding balance within motion, sometimes. The best travel moments were in the exotic adventures, but the quiet mornings writing beside a window, listening to rain in a place I could call home, even if just for a few weeks. Redefining success, becoming a digital nomad, changed my entire view of success. I no longer dreamed of corner offices or luxury cars. Instead, success meant waking up excited about the day ahead, having the flexibility to choose where and how I worked, and feeling connected to a world much bigger than myself. The world became my teacher. I learned patience in airports, gratitude from strangers, and creativity from cultures unlike my own. I discovered that work doesn't have to trap you. It can set you free if you design it with purpose. Coming home, wherever that is, years into this lifestyle, I still don't have a permanent address, but I've learned that home isn't a place, it's a feeling, the comfort you carry within yourself. Sometimes I stay in one country for months. Other times I move every few weeks. I've learned to adapt, to appreciate simplicity, and to live in the present. Being a digital nomad isn't about escaping life, it's about choosing the life you want to live. And as I watch another sunset from a rooftop cafe, with my laptop open and a world of possibilities glowing on the screen, I realize that the freedom I once only dreamed about isn't a fantasy anymore. It's real. It's messy, challenging, beautiful, and entirely mine.